Podcast. As always, I'm your host, William Liberty, and with me is...
Muhammad Yusuf.
And today we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We got Chivalry comes to next-gen consoles, Doom closed alpha this weekend, Twitch app on the PS4 right now, PS4 update allows you to follow developers, the special videos for Fallout 4, Street Fighter V beta is live, Destiny sequel on the way next year with help from High Moon Studios, New Heroes in Battlefront, Deus Ex Mankind Divided gets a new trailer, and Dark Souls 3 gameplay. Alright, let's start with what we played this week. Mine's really short. I just played more Undertale. I wanted to talk about that, which is interesting. I actually finally got around to getting some PC recording hardware.
Oh, nice.
So for those who watched last week's podcast and saw that little interesting Easter egg... yes, we are going to be doing a playthrough. Me and my friend Alex are currently working on a playthrough for Undertale. We'll try and get it up as soon as we can. But yeah, that is on the way. Don't worry, it is coming. But yeah, that's basically what I played this week. I played a lot of Undertale, and I'm slowly getting closer to the end of Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't know. I'm starting. It's kind of sad because I'm actually at the point where it's like I'm starting to get like a little less. Less excited with Metal Gear Solid 5. When I started playing it, I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. This is really, really awesome. But now the game has taken like a really weird turn, design-wise, and I don't want to say anything because it's kind of spoilery.
Okay.
But it's just kind of weird. I don't think it's terrible, but you start to kind of see how Konami was trying super hard to try and really screw this game over.
Really?
You can start to tell later on, but I don't know. I want to finish it before I give it like the full review. But anyway, that's what I did this week. What about you, Fawaz?
Well, I was really looking for something to play because I didn't want to Bloodborne it up 3 weeks in a row, but I didn't find anything to play, so
Fair enough.
Bloodborne. Yeah,
Bloodborne.
I've pretty much beaten it like a third time now.
Nice. It's
So
a
I guess
good
this is
game.
going to be a weekly thing on the podcast. Yeah, my third character, I've beaten everything. The only thing that's left is the Sumerian Queen. The challenge dungeons are actually a lot of fun, though. They're freaking hard, though.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah,
For sure.
I just went wrong. The vacuous spider in the dungeon. It's not fun. That's where I'm currently stuck. But yeah, I pretty much cleared everything else. I've gotten all the badges except for the last one. I just have to, beat the final boss to get that. I've gotten all the hunter tools. They're kind of shit, aren't they?
You mean the hunter's weapons?
No, the tools. Like the tiny nitrous, the arcane stuff.
Oh, the arcane stuff. Yeah, they're not really that great. I felt that magic in that game was really kind of weird, and it wasn't as practical as just flat out just going like dex build or strength build.
Yeah.
Which was disappointing because the spells were pretty cool, like the freaking tentacle spells, like shooting out of your hands. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was just a shame that it was just kind of weird. I'm hoping that the DLC adds more cooler magic, so maybe magic builds or arcane builds can start becoming more of a thing. Because the main game is sure lacking it for sure.
Yeah, because my character it's a strength, skill, and arcane to and I use the wheel and
right
and Ludwig. I was trying to use some of those. I was like, I'm playing an arcane build, so I'm trying to use some of those tools, and it's just shit, But one thing I really wanted to comment on that I keep skipping out every podcast is it just me or is Frenzy like the worst mechanic in that entire game?
Frenzy it's hard to comprehend, and it's not really explained well in the game. So me and my friend had the simultaneous, like when we're playing through the game for the first time, we're both like, God damn it, I hate Frenzy so much. Because it's so much worse than Poison. Because it's basically, it's like a stack, where it's like when it reaches a certain point, you just take a giant chunk of damage. It's very similar to Bleed, but from Dark Souls 1 and 2, but it's really hard to manage and defend yourself.
Yeah, what I really hate about it though, and this is gonna tie into the other thing. The other thing that I hate is the winter lanterns. Those terrible enemies, the ones with the really big heads that
Oh,
cause
those things.
friendly
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
line of sight, right?
Right.
They see you and then you hide, but the fact that they saw you makes your friendly start building up.
Yeah.
And if you're unlucky, if you don't have enough friends resistance, just them seeing you once makes it build up all the way, and you lose like 80% of your health. There was one hunter tool that I had to get. I think it was the choir bell. You have to
Yes.
kill 4 of those things. That was the least fun I've had playing a video game ever. Seriously, I hate those creatures
Those
so much.
they are not great. Honestly, how I got through that part, I called up my my bro Alex, who's beaten the game like 60 million times, and I'm like, dude, help me with this. I can't deal with this anymore. And he just beasted through the entire level. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna hide behind you, and I'll pick up the choir bell, and we're a-okay.
That's funny.
I
Yeah,
feel like that level in particular is really damn hard, but it's near the end, so.
Yeah, I killed all 3 of them. Because what I was trying to do before, another thing that I hate about them, right? And I've seen this happen with a couple of other enemies, is because you can parry their grab, right?
Yes.
And if you parry the grab and you visceral attack them at the right time,
right.
If you visceral attack them as the frenzy bar is filling up, you won't take any damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is that, first of all, parrying them is really difficult. The window for parrying them is tiny. And second, and this is what pisses me off the most, is that sometimes you will get the parry, you'll hear the parry sound, but they'll still grab you. Yeah. So, I had a lot of fun with that, as you can probably tell. But I cleared it. The last one I just used poison daggers to kill it because I was like, I'm not about to die on the last one.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you there. That's back in the day in Dark Souls, Dark Souls 1 and 2, where I would use CAT, cheap arrow tactics, to just get my way around a lot of really douchebag enemies.
Yeah, but with that, I've pretty much beaten absolutely everything there is to do in the main game. I killed the bloody crew of Kanehurst again.
Nice.
I actually recorded it this time, and I think I'm probably gonna post it on the channel.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because that is one of my favorite quote unquote boss battles in the game. It's really difficult, but it's so tense, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, all that's left now are the dungeons, and I'll have my platinum. So
yeah, it's interesting. I'm trying to think what really is my favorite boss in that game, and I really like the Gascoigne fight. Like I know, like eventually once you know the gimmick, it becomes really easy.
Yeah,
but I really just like that fight because like just the music is freaking awesome.
Music is pretty awesome. I like Logarius actually.
Yeah, Logarius was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I mean he's a pain in the ass. Like he's one of the only bosses that I can't just beat. Like most bosses, I just need to be careful. Like I just need to concentrate and I'll beat them. But Logarius' moveset is so huge that. Like it feels more like a Ninja Gaiden boss battle than a Bloodborne boss battle. Plus, I love the location. I love his opening cutscene when he like just gets off the chair.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Arthas, and he just gets off the chair and stuff. And I love the lore behind him, the whole crown stuff and all that.
Yeah, all that stuff is really awesome. But before we do our Bloodborne podcast, don't worry, one day. Let's get into some news. So Chivalry. Chivalry is coming to next-gen consoles, Xbox One and PS4. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, there's like a rating. You know how games usually leak these days. You get like someone rates it before its time online, and there was a rating for a PS4 and Xbox One version of the game. For those who don't know, Chivalry is it's pretty much it's a medieval version of Call of Duty, pretty much. It's a first person game, but set in medieval times. So you use swords, shields, spears, all that good stuff. I think it actually started off as like a Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
mod
it started out as a Counter-Strike mod. Yeah.
So yeah, it's critically acclaimed. It actually released on consoles last gen, but it released I think in like December of last year. So no one really cared. I'll keep my eye on this. A lot of people reference this game when For Honor got announced because there were some similarities. Probably at an absolutely basic level. But
Yeah, like honestly, like as much as like my friend, he plays a lot of Chivalry, right? He really enjoys that game. But honestly, I'm way more interested in For Honor at this point.
yeah,
For just aesthetic reasons, it looks like a better game. Like just presentation wise, like I mean, like the game Chivalry was based off a mod, so it's not exactly the most pretty looking game.
yeah, I feel you.
Um,
I feel you.
but yeah, so just keep your eyes open for that. Next, Doom gets closed alpha this weekend.
Yeah.
So I guess I've been kind of keeping my eye on Doom for a while, but honestly, most of my attention's pointed towards Fallout at this point. So
Yeah, Bethesda, I'm gonna get into this when we're talking about Fallout. I'm gonna get into this in more detail when we're talking about Fallout 4, but Bethesda have taken a very more less is more approach with both of these games.
Mhm.
So, I mean, since E3, we've seen absolutely nothing from Doom.
Right.
But even the closed alpha, no gameplay. At least maybe I didn't search hard enough, but I couldn't find any gameplay from the closed alpha.
Right.
So yeah, it is happening though. That I know for sure. So hopefully we can get some footage of it soon. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm excited for it, but I don't know. I mean, like, on my list of games, like, it's kind of on the lower end of it because it's right now for me it's like Fallout 4 and then XCOM 2, then Deus Ex. Like, those are the games that I'm just like, yeah, I really want. Um, so yeah. So I mean, yeah. So good for them. Hopefully the alpha works out for them.
Yeah.
But now another really interesting thing, a Twitch app for the PS4 just launched, like
Yeah.
right now, and I don't know exactly how it works, but it seems like it's a typical like you'll be able to stream yourself playing PS4 games, from what I can gather at the very least.
Well, I used it a little bit. So yeah, I mean, you could always stream to Twitch, right? But
Yeah,
you never watch Twitch streams. It's pretty much just a you it's Twitch
right.
except on your PS4. So you can go, you can sign into it, look up what streams are popular right now. You can watch them, you can comment. It's pretty much just a Twitch thing, and
Yeah.
obviously it's going to be integrated into your Twitch account. So if you was this thing, if you stream and stuff like that, you can also edit your account. Because I don't know if you could tweak your accounts
Right.
with prior to this app coming out. I don't know if you could tweak if you could make any changes to your account, but now you can. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I mean, I never understood why there was no Twitch app because like the Xbox One had a Twitch app like a long time ago. I think I watched E3 on my friend's Xbox One through Twitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there was some, my laptop's a bit of a piece of shit. I've had it for about 6 years. So there were some streams that I wanted to watch, and I tried to pull up Twitch on my PS4, and it's like actually there is no Twitch on your PS4. So good to know there is now.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just think it's just a nice app, and it just makes sense. Like especially since like a lot of the biggest thing that I like about the next gen or the current gen consoles, is that they're a lot more friendly as far as streaming and having people like join their games and whatnot, and like
Yeah,
just streaming in general, and like that it just makes sense with this type of generation, especially since let's plays and playthroughs and whatnot are just becoming more popular. So
yeah.
this makes sense, and it's cool. It's pretty cool. The other thing that's been updated is there was an update for the PS4 that allows you to follow developers. So what do you think about this, Fawaz?
I'm so indifferent.
Yeah, me
Okay, I
too.
think I think part of the problem is that there's still key stuff that I want. That I mean, like I think the last time we spoke about a PS4 update, I mentioned that there was no way to make yourself appear offline, right?
Yeah, you really want that.
Yeah, that's not even the one I really want. The one that I really want that I forgot to mention on that podcast is that there's still no way to know when your friend signs into their PS4.
Real? What do you mean by that? Like you just
Okay,
not?
like on the PS3, for example, if I sign into the PS3, it will pop up on your account and it will say Fawaz just signed in or Jack the Ripper just signed in,
Right.
right? And obviously, you can switch all that stuff off, right?
Right.
For people that just don't want to be bothered, they don't want to see pop ups like that when they're watching
Well,
Netflix.
see, that's the thing is that I don't. I'm the kind of person where it's like, especially when you're recording shit, and it's like, Jack the Ripper just came online. It's like, hi, Fawaz.
Yeah, but then
But
like every other console, I mean, like the Xbox 360 had it, the Xbox One had it, and they all had the option to switch it off. I don't understand why we don't even have the option at all.
yeah, okay,
Because
okay, I see what you're saying. I see what
because
you're
for
saying.
example, say my friend my friend is playing Borderlands and because me and my friend we used to play Borderlands 2 a lot. Say he's playing Borderlands and he really wants to like talk to me about something, right?
Right.
But he's in the middle of the game. I can sign in, do a bunch of stuff, and sign out, and he'll never know.
Okay, so you want it to be more like just you want the game. You want what it did on the PS3 is that you would see that pop up and go, oh, Fawaz is online. I should send him an invite or something like
On the
that.
PS3, the Vita, the 360, the Xbox One, I'd be surprised if the Wii. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Wii U even has it.
I'm
Seriously,
pretty sure the Wii U doesn't have
I
anything
know,
like
I know,
that.
I know. I'm just kidding. But like, it makes no sense why that isn't there. The other thing that we really need is freaking folders, right? Like the library. Why is it that when I delete a game, it doesn't leave. It stays in my library. Like my library is so clustered right now, full of like betas and demos and
Yeah,
PlayStation Plus games that okay, you know what? Don't give us the option to completely delete them. Whatever. Give us folders so I can just make a folder for deleted shit and put it all in there so I never have to see it again. But I'm
yeah, I
still
can see that. But like I said, I understand why they did it that way was because it's like if you delete something, then it's very easy to find and download again. Like it's on the menu. Like that, I feel like
yeah.
that's part of the reason because trust me, I had a lot of fun re-downloading all that Rock Band DLC, and that was a load of shit. So yeah, like I can tell why sometimes being able to download things straight from the menu or re-download could be nice. But yeah, I guess it's just like it just needs a couple like it needs tweaks. Like there's clear like tweaks that need to be added, and it's just hopefully we get more stuff like that. Because honestly, this update about following developers, it's interesting, but to be honest, I'm not going to really use my PS4 to follow developers. I would use Facebook or Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I would use. Like, because I guess that's just the weird thing is like, I feel like the consoles are very, like, they want to be everything. Like, they really want to be everything. They want to be your social network. They want to be your gaming console. They want to be your Blu-ray player. They want to be every single little thing in the world. And it's like, can you just focus on one particular like thing and just make that really good before you try and do everything? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's always how I've kind of my stance on the whole thing.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to, when they said you could follow accounts, I thought they meant that okay, you can follow certain friends. So when they sign in, you would goddamn goddamn no. But nope, nope, nope,
Nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope,
nope.
nope, nope, nope.
Yeah, because like I don't know. I guess I'm just used to because I owned an Xbox 360 before I bought this, right? So on the 360, you would I mean, like I said, you can switch it off because yeah, it can get annoying, right? Oh, this person signed in and shit. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like if there's a specific person that you want to talk to for a specific reason, you don't have to keep checking to see if they've signed in.
Yeah. No, I can see, and hopefully we'll get this soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah.
But next, we didn't really talk about this, but we saved it for last. We saved it for a while. The special videos for Fallout 4, where these just little videos talking about strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck in Fallout 4, and they had the classic Pip-Boy in the oldie animations, and I loved the trailers. They were awesome.
They're really, really well done. They capture the vibe of one of those very, very old school. It's funny because there is one cartoon I used to watch when I was younger. Her Jay's Adventures of Tintin, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the cartoon itself is like I think it's from the 40s or the 50s, 1959. There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
And these clips really captured the vibe of those cartoons. Um, I mean, honestly, there's really not a lot of actual information in here. Most of it is just irrelevant, but it's funny, it's cool, and it brings me to the point I wanted to go on is that Bethesda have really gone with a less is more
Yeah.
approach with Fallout 4, especially because okay, you know what, Doom, they haven't shown a lot of Doom footage, but Doom isn't coming out till early next year. Fallout
Right.
4 is coming out in 2 weeks, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the only gameplay we've seen was what they showed at E3.
Right.
So it's funny. One of my friends, I was actually having a discussion with one of my friends, and he was talking about how it worries him a little bit that in this day and age we've seen so little of a AAA game. But for me, I'm like, honestly, I like it because this isn't a new IP.
Mm-hmm.
I think anyone that's buying this
Like,
game knows exactly what they're getting.
exactly. And when you think about it, Skyrim honestly didn't really have that many trailers either, or
And that's
not
exactly
not
what I
not
think.
many that I remember. I remember there being the super big reveal one, and then maybe like a smaller concept one.
Yeah,
But I don't like it was really like, especially with those games, you want to show as little as possible because it's all about, yo dude, I went to this part of the game and I found this crazy shit. And it's like if they show all the stuff in the trailer, then it's ruining the experience of discovering it yourself.
yep.
So I
I
feel like
agree
they
100%.
really understand that that's part of the things that make Fallout and Skyrim really great. So I'm actually really glad that they've decided that, all right, we're gonna do these cool like little animated trailers instead, get people hyped for the game. The only other trailer that they showed was there was a live action one, which was,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, and that doesn't really give much details about the game either. So it's interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, they've covered every type of trailer except the gameplay. All that's left now is a CGI trailer to do everything but a gameplay trailer.
Yeah,
But yeah, like I said, man, at this point, seriously, what could they show us that
yeah,
that would matter? They've pretty much covered it. They're like, okay, it's gonna have full voice acting. They've shown the character creation. They've um They've shown the crafting, they've shown the house building, and they've shown the editing of the mech suits, right?
yeah,
Everything past this would just be, would I think would be detrimental to the experience when the
yeah,
game launches. And and he was like that. It's just weird, right? I'm like, you know what? If this was EA or Ubisoft, then sure, maybe I would be getting a little suspicious, right? If this
yeah.
is a company that has a track record for releasing, I mean, for releasing broken games. Granted, Bethesda does,
Yeah.
but for releasing
Like the
bad
PS3,
broken.
the PS3 version of Skyrim was not that great, and I struggled to play through that.
Nah, like Bethesda's games are generally broken, but like he was worried that this was going to be like Aliens, Colonial Marine
No,
type.
no.
And I'm like that. This is Bethesda, man. Everything. I mean, other than that racing game, I forget what it's called. Every single game they've made has been critically acclaimed. So
Yeah,
I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt,
right.
and I'm pretty sure my faith will not be misplaced. No, not with Fallout.
No,
So
I think it's gonna come out and it's gonna be great. So yeah, just really excited for Fallout. Love the trailers. Get hyped. Get hyped.
yeah.
And now next on our list, Street Fighter V beta is live again. Hope it works this time. Crossing my fingers.
So excuse me.
Yeah,
So the beta, it's they've done some when it first launched, the online was kind of shit again, but they
yeah,
released a patch recently. What's cool is that this beta, first of all, there's more characters in this beta. I think every single revealed character is in it, save for the Brazilian chick Laura or whatever her name
yeah.
is. There's the training mode in the game in the thing now, so you can be in the training mode while you're searching for a game. So you can be practicing versus the computer and stuff like that.
Right.
And they also released a patch that improves the matchmaking, so people are actually getting into games more frequently. All in all, it's looking like a much more successful beta than the first one. Um, I still haven't gotten into it because, like I said, I just can't play this stuff on the pad, right?
Right.
Not to sound pretentious or anything,
I
but
know you've made your peace with I gotta have my fighter pad.
yeah, yeah. I just because it's a pity because I really want to get into this, but I feel like it would just. I've tried playing on pads. I tried going back to playing on pads, and I mean it's not terrible, but it's not the best,
No, I
right?
can
So
understand. Like it's how it's any kind of
muscle memory.
controller. Yeah, it's muscle memory. It's like any kind of controller. It's like if you play a game like on the PS3 and then you play the same game on the Xbox 360, it's a completely different controller, so it's gonna be a little bit different of an experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I can completely understand you with there. Honestly, I don't see myself buying a $200 fighter pad, so I will probably just use the controller. I mean, like, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not that great at fighting games, so I'm just gonna get bodied anyway. So why would I spend $200 to just get bodied?
No, like the fight stick is not. I tell people this all the time, right? I love my fight stick, and I'm glad I bought it. But it's not. You don't have to. I mean, there's a tournament player that fights on. There's tons of people that play in tournaments on pad.
Right.
So it's not obligatory.
It's just
And
preference.
yeah, there's people that play high execution characters on pad. Like Sea Viper in Street Fighter 4 is one of the most difficult characters to play, and one of the best Sea Viper players plays on pad. So
Yeah.
it really is just preference. For me, I kept ruining my controllers.
Right. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, you did talk about this on the
Yeah,
podcast
my
before.
controllers kept getting ruined because of all the motions and all the movement and all that stuff. It made the
You
joysticks
you
really
just you just
loose.
wanted something sturdier, like
Yep.
yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna invest. I mean, at the point I'd spent so much money on new controllers that I was like, I could have just bought a fight stick with all this money.
Right.
So I just
Right.
bought a fight stick. Yeah, but overall, it's pretty cool. There's been some really nice footage coming out. The game is shaping up really nicely. We still have an official release date yet, but
Mhm.
probably March.
Yeah, probably March or April. I want to guess.
Yeah.
Um, like I feel like this game is gonna it's definitely coming out next year for sure. Like we know that. Like we're not gonna we're not there's not much speculation with that. But yeah, I'm hoping March or April for sure
Oh,
for
okay.
Street Fighter Five. But next on our list, the Destiny sequel is apparently on the way next year and is going to be developed or like help from High
I'm
Moon
Studio
Studios.
is the studio behind the Transformers games.
I find this really interesting because I've played a couple of High Moon games and they're not bad. They're not bad games. I've played the Ratchet and Clank Size Matters for the PSP. They also made the Deadpool game. But they're
Yeah.
usually their games are lower budget. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a lower budget game, so it's they do what they can with the money that they have. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I find that kind of interesting because if they're helping or working on Destiny 2, I'm gonna assume that's kind of a big leap for them, or I don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
find
I
it
mean, the
interesting.
Transformers games were big budgets. The War for Cybertron and the Fall of Cybertron. Those
Yeah,
games
I guess.
were relatively big budget. Also, I don't think it was high impact games that did Size Matters, not High Moon.
I thought it was High Moon though. You know what? You're probably right. You're probably right. I'm probably thinking of something completely different. All right, keep going. I'm actually gonna look that up right now and look like an idiot. All right.
But yeah, the Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron were relatively high budget games, so they've dipped into the bigger budget games. Plus, it's not like
God
they're
damn it, you're
develop.
right.
It's, it's not like they're the lead developers on this game.
Fuck.
They're apparently going to be helping out, but how, I don't know how I feel about. I thought the plan with the original Destiny was to do what Rock Band's trying to do, release a platform and then just keep releasing DLC for the entire time that game is out. Unless I misunderstood uh, what Bungie said when they first revealed Destiny. That was the impression that I got.
I think it had to do with a couple different things. I think this might have been the plan, but it's clear that what they're saying is that your character from Destiny 1, you're going to be bringing over to Destiny 2.
Okay.
Like, that's the one thing that I've been hearing a lot for the sequel. And the other thing I think is also they probably realize is that it literally took them almost a year to fix Destiny into a, semi, decent state. Like, it took all those, like, updates. It took all the DLC to finally get Destiny to where it was supposed to be. So it's almost... I feel like they probably just want to just start a little bit of a new infrastructure with Destiny 2. I don't know if that's another reason. Because a lot of people have pointed out that when Destiny launched, it was not great. Yeah. It was not great at all, and it took them literally to get to Taken King for that game to actually start to be pretty good. So I don't know, man. That could be a reason, but that's sort of my best guess.
I don't know. I just think this is money grubbing because
yeah, that's clearly another obvious.
I mean, like so they released Destiny last year. It was broken at launch. It was a full price game that was broken at launch. They released 2 DLCs. I think each was, I can't remember how much the DLCs were, whatever.
Yeah.
Then, sorry?
About like $10 or $20 each.
Yeah, so we're looking at about $40 in addition to the $60. So that's $100 right there. Then there's Taken King this year, which is what, like $40 as well. So now we're looking at $140 on one game, and this is $140 to make the game work.
Yes.
This isn't $140 to get extra stuff. This is $140 to make this game what it should have been at launch. Now that we finally got in there, let's do it all again. Like it's ridiculous, and it really rubbed me the wrong way when I saw it. When I read it, because I'm like I said when we were talking about the Taken King, I was like that the Taken King should have been free in my humble opinion. At the very least, House of Wolves and The Dark Below should have been free. I charged us for the full expansion, but like House of Wolves and The Dark Below should have been free, considering how busted the game was at launch, right?
Yeah.
So after nickel and diming us through all, well, not us, because I didn't buy that shit.
Well,
after nickel and diming them through all that shit, it's like, oh, and now Destiny 2. I don't like it. I criticize. Sorry for cutting you.
Well, yeah, keep going.
I criticize Activision for releasing Call of Duties every single year, but at least the Call of Duties launch complete. They launch complete every single year. I mean, sure, they have a few bugs here and there, but in terms of content, they're jam-packed to content. That's one thing I cannot criticize those games for.
Yeah, that's
you have your solid single player with a cohesive plot, at least in comparison to Destiny's plot.
Yeah.
You have your multiplayer with a significant amount of maps. Then you have your Nazi zombies or whatever that mode is called.
Yeah, Nazi zombies.
Is it actually called Nazi zombies?
Yeah, it's been called Nazi zombies from like the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Back from Call of Duty World at War.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they have your Nazi zombies or your Black Ops or your Spec Ops mode or something like that. So like those games are jam-packed with content, So I can't even criticize them. So by comparison, Bungie is really screwing people over, and this is in comparison to Call of Duty. Like, listen to that for a second. You know what? I mean, it's not official yet. At least I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed at all. With the way Bungie has handled this entire situation. And it's a pity that the Taken King sold as well as it did, because I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, there is that. But to be honest, like, at least how me being the optimist, a part of me is like, okay, the sequel was inevitable, but this could potentially be a good thing. It could be a fresh start. It could be like, all right, let's take all the shit and the bad decisions that we made with Destiny 1, and let's try and move on with the sequel, and hopefully like a new team, maybe, better voice direction, dear merciful God. But that's why I'm like, okay, maybe a sequel wouldn't be too bad, because it could be a fresh start. You know what I
Let
mean?
me.
Like,
I kind of know what you mean, but here's an analogy my friend made, right?
right.
My friend Jason. Sorry, shout out to J Streets
All
because
right.
last time I didn't call him by his name, he got mad. So
Oh, how
yeah,
could you fool
my boy
us?
Jason. Yeah, shout outs. So he was like that. If you're working at a company, right?
Right.
And say your September, they screw up your paycheck for September, right?
Right.
And then October comes along, they're like, oh well, we here's your October paycheck. We've got it, we fixed the problem, it's all good. Here's your money for October. And you're sitting there like, okay, that's cool. But what about September? Like I'm still okay, sure. Say Destiny 2 fixes all the issues, right? I'm still gonna have to pay for Destiny 2. And I still got dicked over with Destiny 1 and all the DLC for Destiny 1. Sans the Taken King, because apparently Taken King actually fixed all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
But like I still got screwed over with Destiny 1 and I still haven't gotten anything in return. For God's sake, even Ubisoft, when they had a broken launch, like with Assassin's Creed, they gave away free games, like free full games. They gave away like Far Cry, The Crew, and some other games like that. Whereas Bungie are like, well, just keep giving us more money. That's how this works. We screw you over, and you keep giving us more money.
Yeah. No, I can understand. I don't know. I'm on the fence at the very least. I'm with you, but I can also see some positives coming out of this. But our next topic is new heroes in Battlefront. We got Princess Leia, Han Solo, and the Emperor were confirmed, and honestly, I was like, yeah, I assumed that they were going to be in the game, most likely. Like, but big surprises.
No, they actually detailed them, though. They detailed the abilities and stuff like that. And I can't lie, after reading through some of the abilities, it's because in Star Wars Battlefront, a lot of the heroes were very similar.
Oh yeah, you mean Battlefront 2 and 1.
Yeah, Battlefront 2. Were there any heroes in Battlefront 1? I don't think so.
You know what? Yeah, I think you're right. I think they showed up in 2. But there were a shit ton in 2.
Yeah, there were a shit ton in 2 because they were tied to maps, right?
Right.
I don't know. They still haven't detailed how these ones are going to work. I don't know if they're going to be specific to maps or
modes or something like that.
Yeah, or modes or yeah, but they detailed them and like Leia, for example, she doesn't have a lightsaber or access to the Force,
right.
But she's got a lot of really cool support abilities. She can buff team members. She's got a shield that can defend positions, and unlike the regular shield that you could use in the beta that you couldn't shoot through, right. She can actually shoot through her shield. So
right.
So that's pretty cool. She's got a supply drop. So she can do a supply drop. Here's another cool thing is that any player that spawns on her spawns as an honor guard.
Ah, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they'll spawn as a buffed version of their of whatever class they chose. So overall, she's like the really cool support character. On the flip side, you've got Palpatine, who's also a little more of a supporty role. He can power up others. They don't really go into detail as to what kind of power ups he has. He's got the chain. He's got the Force Lightning that can also chain. So it does like an air of effect if there are a lot of enemies close together. He's got a Force Dash, which lets him, I'm guessing, dash across the battlefield. So I guess not as cool as Princess Leia, but and I didn't have a chance to read up Han Solo's stuff, but yeah, Skyward it doesn't sound as interesting as Leia. So Leia sounds the coolest out of all of them, but I do like the fact that they're all going to be unique, because Luke and Vader were very similar, but I mean they're on the opposite sides, so I guess they should be similar because you want to give each side access to that type of hero, right?
Right. Which makes sense, but But it's interesting because it's like I like the fact how you're mentioning all the support stuff. It does kind of it reminds me how Princess Leia actually worked in Battlefront 2. She was more of a support hero. She only had a
Oh,
blaster, but she would run around giving people shields and buffs and whatnot. So
oh, well, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about then.
what? I mean, like she was like, well, she was one of the weird heroes. Like most of the heroes, I agree with you. In Battlefront 2, they were very similar. It was either throw your lightsaber, force pull, force push, right?
Yeah.
But with her, because she didn't really use the force at all, they had to give her slightly different mechanics, which is like her supporty stuff. So it seems like they're taking some stuff from the old game and just updating it, which I like. I like that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm not
But
saying
yeah.
I'm not saying you were wrong. I'm just saying that that's similar.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. I thought I was talking out of my ass. It wouldn't be the first time. But moving on to something I think you'll be really interested in. We've got more details about the Dark Souls combat. So they've
Yep.
introduced this new thing called Weapon Arch, right?
Right.
I think you press the R2, whatever, doesn't matter. You press one button on your controller to access your weapon arts, and
Mm.
it's different for every single weapon. It's different for weapon types. For example, some of the examples I saw, you had a sword and a shield guy, and when he activated his weapon arts, he put the shield on his back, and
Yeah.
he two-handed the sword, so it gave him access to a new move list, right? But then on the flip side, you had a battle axe dude whose weapon arts caused him to like roar, right?
Right. Right.
So I
Right.
think it like stunned enemies.
Mm-hmm.
It's, they're gauged. They have their own gauge. I forget what the gauge is called. You have a certain amount of points, and every time you use a weapon art, they use up those points. And once you use
Mm-hmm.
up points, you can still use the weapon arts, but they do less damage, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Then also there's different types of shields. There's the parry shields, which allow you to parry,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
have your weapon art shields, which I don't know if you have to. I didn't fully understand if you have to have a weapon art shield to gain access to a weapon art, or if it just makes your weapon art stronger. I unfortunately there were a lot of videos and I couldn't decipher all of that. But in
Yeah.
general, it
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
like it's like a cool new mechanic. Or is it? Was there anything like this in the old Dark Souls games?
Not really in Dark Souls 1 or 2. But I feel like the part of the reason why they might be doing this is because it seems like what they're trying to do is add more features to other classes. Like the thing about Dark Souls 1 and 2 is that you could build like faith builds, which gave you spells and whatnot, but you also had access to all your melee moves or whatnot. So you could do like a strength faith build and have
Okay.
like a mace and shield, but you'd also shoot lightning out of your hand. So you had a lot of options.
Uh huh.
Whereas if you just went full strength, all you had was your big giant sword, and
Uh,
that was about it. Like or particular to whatever move set that your weapon had. So it seems what they're trying to do is that they're trying to give other classes more options. Like okay, you have your regular move set, and then you have your special moves now that use a special bar, so you can't just spam them like a madman. You have to use them at the precise moment or the opportune moment, which I like. And from what they've shown in the gameplay, it's what they're trying to do is they're trying to make the gameplay a lot less defensive.
yeah.
Because Bloodborne was way more just go in, all out, attack, dodge, move, whatever. Dark Souls 1, however, was like very like the opposite. Dark Souls 1 was all about you throw up that shield or you get ready to dodge and you just wait and wait until you can get that good moment to just combo into a kill. That's
Yeah.
usually how Dark Souls 1 worked. So it seems like what they're trying to do is they're trying to give the players more options so that they can have a more aggressive style if they want to. So they're not being forced to play a certain way, which I like. And it seems to balance things out. The biggest difference is that in Dark Souls 1 and 2, spells worked on a system where you only had a certain amount of uses. So it'd be like you have a magic spear, like a lightning spear. You can only use that 7 times. And then
Ooh.
and then until you get to the next checkpoint, that is.
Okay.
That's how it works. So it seems what they're trying to do is that they're trying to, for magic at the very least, it's gonna be more classic in the sense your blue bar every time you cast a spell, your blue bar goes down, and there's specific blue bar flasks or potions that you can take that will boost up your blue bar once again. So it seems like that's sort of what the new mechanic that they're adding to the game, which I think is pretty cool.
Okay.
The other thing I really like is that some of the gothicness from Bloodborne is making its way into, yeah, the chapels and whatnot. And honestly, like Bloodborne looked amazing, and I like the architecture in Bloodborne a lot. So I'm glad to see a little bit come into this game because it just makes it look really, really cool. There's nothing more than I love than having an epic boss battle in like a church or something like that, or a cathedral.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
yeah, and going back to what I was saying about the Bloody Crow of Kane Hurst, I think that was part of what I love so much about that boss battle. You know, you're walking up those giant steps, and then you get into this big hall, and he's just sitting there waiting for you, and he gets up and proceeds to kick your ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with you. One last thing of note is that they've made parrying similar to Dark Souls 1. Right. So apparently, you're the Dark Souls expert here, but apparently the parrying was different from between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. But for 3, they've gone back to 1 with it, where you parry right as you're about to get hit.
Right.
And I think you get a counter attack, because I think in Dark Souls 2, when you parried, you knocked them down or something like that.
Yeah, it was like you set them up. Like you would parry, it would knock them down on their feet. You would walk up to them, hit the R1, and then you would initiate parry attack, which is similar to a visceral attack.
Oh, okay.
But I found, honestly, I'm excited, but also a little bit because I found that visceral attacks in Bloodborne were a lot easier to do than parrying in Dark Souls 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like Dark Souls 1 and 2, it took a lot of practice. And I usually ended up saying screw it and just held up my shield or dodged out of the way and attacked. So, I don't know. It might be interesting. I'm just glad that I was more worried about how they were handling backstabbing, because in Dark Souls 1, backstabbing was notoriously easy, and to the point where it would be like you would just circle your enemy until they did something stupid, go up and stab them in the back for massive amounts of damage, rinse and repeat. And that kind of broke the game a bit, because once I realized how to do that, I actually found the game started to get a lot easier really, really quickly.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see how they handle that as well. The only other things that I think are note. Sorry, I was having trouble words. Is that it seems like humanity has been replaced with Ember. Yes, so that's kind of an interesting thing. It probably has something to do with the lore. I won't go into it because it's kind of spoilery for Dark Souls 1. But it's interesting. And the other thing I really like is that apparently you have to light certain places in the game using embers maybe to learn certain lore and stuff like that. And I guess it's kind of a similar thing that was in Bloodborne. You may not have noticed this, Fawaz, but when you were exploring Bloodborne, there would be these little flashing specks of light on the ground or on a wall or something like that.
The notes, right?
The notes, right?
Yeah.
And you would only see them if you had a certain level of insight.
Okay.
So it was like, if you want to get the lore, you're going to have to need a crap ton of insight. So it seems like they're trying to do something kind of similar where it's like, reward the player for having a certain amount of this resource or something like that. But I don't know. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm just excited for this game. I'm excited because I know that Miyazaki's working on it. So I know it's going to be really, really good. But yeah, just excited. But with that, I think we're going to have to wrap it up here.
One sec. Sorry, before you wrap it up, there's a comment, there's a comment on that I was supposed to comment on. So real quick, before we shut down, Tanner, would you say that you were our resident JRPG expert?
A resident JRPG expert. I would say I know a decent amount of JRPGs. I'm getting into them a lot more. A lot more than I used to. It was probably because as soon as I played Persona, Persona 3, I was like, wow, I have been missing some really good JRPGs, and maybe all I need to do is break the barrier, and then I can play a bunch of really good games. And that's I'm starting to get into it. I've been playing Persona. I'm trying to get into Fire Emblem right now. Undertale, the game that we're going to be uploading, has a lot of JRPG like influences. So I guess a little bit. I don't know. I like, how many JRPGs would you say you've played?
Persona 4.
And that's it.
Well, I mean, recent memory. Yeah.
Oh, in recent memory.
Prior to that, it'd be like Final Fantasy X or something like that. The reason why I asked was because my friend Jason was upset that neither of us mentioned Tales of Vesperia launching on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I was like, dog, I'm not the JRPG guy. That's Tanner. So direct all your venom towards him. So here I am.
Well, that's not fair. Now he's going to get mad at me. What did I do? That's you traitor Fallout. How could you do this? Sorry, man. I mean, like, if there's something that we forget to mention in the podcast, or if you think there's like something that we should talk about, then just leave a comment, and I'll totally look up more information about it, and we'll try and talk about it next time. That's all I can really say. Like, if we miss some piece of news, like, there's only so much that we can talk about.
Yeah, I know.
But in the end of the day, if you're feeling bad about it, just remember it's Fawaz's fault. So just remember that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you leave a comment in the comment section, we'll make sure to answer it in the next podcast. And as always, this was your host, William Liberty, and and we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.